What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a new video. I hope you're all well. So this is probably the most anticipated video of all times, well, particularly with me anyway. Today we are upgrading all the fuel. So if you don't know who I am, I'm Rob. This is Forza Culture, my YouTube channel. Last time we went on the dyno with this car with the EP3, we made 422 wheel horsepower, and basically what happened was we had to cut it short because we was basically running out of fuel pressure. So in order to kind of raise it, make sure we've got sustainable fuel pressure, I've basically bought a load of parts, which is the hybrid racer fuel rail, pressure regulator. I've got the fuel pressure regulator gauge, AN6 lines, and all the fittings. So today we're going to be installing that, and hopefully next time we'll be filming, we'll be on the dyno and pushing it for more power. One thing I forgot to mention was the pump. So I've got a 340 AEM fuel pump, new fuel filter there with AEM fittings, obviously the regulator itself, fuel line gauge, and these just all the fixings. Obviously the submergible fuel hose there, that's a fuel line. That's pretty much it. So the plan is I'll just take you to it, just ignore all the junk. I've taken off the heat shield at the back. Basically what I'm going to do is take the fuel line off, fuel rail off, the stock fuel rail, put the new fuel rail on, and then that'll kind of dictate, well, not dictate, but it'll kind of tell me where I'm going to put my fuel pressure regulator, because down here I haven't really got any room. So what I'm thinking of doing is making a bracket off these two holes and have the regulator here and try and run the fuel lines straight down there. First we'll just disconnect the injectors. Battery's disconnected, by the way. Always a pain in the ass, this one. Right. It's 12mm, two 12mm bolts. Baby off. There you go. And what I did was I literally just cut the fuel line because we don't need it anymore. There you go, it's just pissing out a little bit of fuel. So all I'm going to do now is get these injectors out, and the injectors that I've got in here are Injector Dynamic 1050X's. What I'm doing now, just taking the old, well, taking injectors out the old fuel rail. They're a bit tight, just because of the O-rings. Now just take all the rest out and then put them into here like I've been doing. Just been checking the O-rings as well, just making sure that they're okay. Are in now, all sealed. It was quite fiddly, to be fair, getting them in, but they're in nonetheless. And all we're going to do now is just put them in like that. That's the fuel rail bolted down. Took the cover off the injector wiring as well. It's like a plastic protector protecting the loom, but taking that off, just taped them up a little bit more, just to obviously protect them. Everything else is all fitted now, AN lines for the breather, and pretty much it. Well, that's pretty much it for that bit. Now we've got to find out where I'm going to put this regulator. I think this is a spot here, so what I'm going to do is just put an end onto this line here, just make sure that I can get it, so if I bring the line through here and around here, it'll connect into there, because this filter sits off the turbo a fair bit. I don't know how flexible it is, so I'll just get cracking there. Like I say, I've got two lengths of 5 meters going all the way down there. Plenty, so I'm gonna get onto that now. This is so much easier using the right tools, you know, for the aim fittings. Just effortless. Like put a little bit of WD on there as well, just to help with a little bit of lube. Always gotta love a bit of lube. And plus with these actual end wrenches, you can put them over the top and do it like that as well. So yeah, smart. So this is just the first one that I trialled. So this is what I'm going to put up front, just to make sure that I can get it onto the fuel rail without having to mess about. So I'll finish this off and then get back, make sure that it fits. I thought I'd take you in the car with me. So what we need to do is take this cover off the plate to get to the fuel pump. Obviously you've got to remove the seat, the bench, so there's a 10mm bolt there, and then you just yank either side of the bench up and that removes it. That releases it into the wildness. So get these 4 posi screws out, lift the plate up, then just need to unclip the wire in there, and then what we do then is, there is a special tool for this, but basically all I do is get a bit of metal and knock it round, and here she is, 160 fuel boat. So this is the boat. What we need to be doing is taking this top piece off. This is the filter media inside here. I'm going to cut this like line off here. Sorry, I keep going somewhere else. Right, cut this off here, and we'll put a bolt down there, get rid of that. 2 holes in here for the fittings, for these fittings, so that will sit basically through there like that. And then on the flip side of this, we'll cut all the way around in here to allow the 2 fittings on the top. Remove this line here, and then we'll get rid of the regulator, and then the new line will go to here. So it'll go from that point there to there, and then for the feed it'll go from here, no sorry, it won't go from here, it'll go from underneath there, then down, round and through here into the pump, and that is pretty much it. So we'll get rid of this wire as well, don't need that. When we take the return part off, we'll reuse this plastic piece here, just drill it out 6mm to allow some more fuel, so that will fill the boat up. Now what I often see online, and I thought about it myself, was running the return, but then all you're doing is pushing fuel back into the filter and pushing obviously the dirty deposits back into your pump, so it doesn't really make sense. So yeah, you need to fucking bin off that idea, and then either, you know, if you're doing a return line, you can use this part here. I've seen people cut that off. You can have a feed there, return through there, but you know, you don't want to be using this part here. So yeah, I'll start dismantling it and then obviously crack on. So that's the boat undone. Fairly quick, fairly easy. This is the Walbro 255 pump. so just didn't flow enough. It was good for 400 wheel horsepower, but after that obviously it wasn't keeping up, plus you know the stock fuel lines weren't too great anyway, so obviously it's time to upgrade. So all I'm going to do now is remove this. Probably going to try and keep this because the new pump comes with a filter which looks like that, and obviously that won't fit inside there, so all I'll do, it'll be like that anyway. So I'm just going to take this off, reuse this filter. I'll try and clean it out, and this new filter sock that comes with the AEM pump, it's got like a little washer in there, so I can reuse this. So I'll quickly show you where I am. I can't remember if I showed you. Boat been emptied, got the pump out there, going to reuse that sock. Cut the top of the pump off, or filter. Remove these two pins as well, and then I'm just going to drill straight through there with this, pull all the filter media out, and I can drill the two holes in the top there for the fittings. So ever wondered what the filter looks like? It's just in there all coiled up. So I'll just rip all that out. Probably can't do it with one hand anyway. So just made a right mess, Anna. So I've got to tidy that up before I start doing anything else. Don't want to get any of that in the fuel tank. So clever me as usual, but we're making progress slowly. I thought I was filming and I didn't get it, so I apologise. But anyway, Blue Peter, here we come. Look at that, I should get a Blue Peter badge for this. But where the original filter media was, got the two AN6 fittings, so I've got an in and an out. I don't know if it'll focus. And that there where the crush washer is, that was where the original out was, that went to the fuel rail. Getting them in there was a fucking nightmare. Yeah, I went to a special place for that, but we got it done in the end, so that's all ready to go. I've got the pump in the boat, so I've just broken a little bit out here as well, if you can see that. I've got some butt connectors and wired the pump up. If you don't know how to put a you know, an upgraded fuel pump in, I've got another video where I did that. I put the Walbro 255 in, so I'll put a link in the description below to that video. What we've got to do now is pretty much put the top part of the fuel pump back onto the boat, and then we can start mocking up where the where these lines go, just to make sure we haven't got too much, because otherwise when you put it in the tank, you try to push it down, it won't go down, then it messes around with the sender. I had it last time, so yeah, I just want to make sure that they're the right length, we can get to everything, and that'll be that. So just go on to that now. I've just shortened the return, so just get rid of that. This is the little piece that fits into the boat at the back. I've actually drilled that out in there. I don't know if you'll see it, that's actually drilled out for 6mm. So I'll put that on the end of the tube, push that back in there. The job's a good one. That's the return side, and obviously where I pushed the boat down, got all that flex there. It's not too long either to stop it from doing it, so happy days. And then we'll get on to the out. Here we go, boys. All done and dusted, finished up. So next step is getting this back into the tank. As you can see, the out is, well, goes different route basically, so I'll have to manipulate that back into the tank, but other than that, she's looking well. Forgot to mention as well, this is submersible fuel hose, and in order to fit this, I think it's an M8 thread, I had to basically drill this out with a 6.8, then went down with I think it's a M8 by 1.25, tapped it out, come back out, and then obviously put a crush washer in, and then like a little bolt, But other than that, yeah, she's sound. I've cleaned her all out, make sure that there's no bits of plastic in there. So next step is getting into the tank. There she is, all installed. So for people wondering, I will be fitting a relay at some point. Obviously the new pump that's installed in here, the 340 AEM, draws a lot more current, so the wires will get hot. I mean, at the moment I'm only planning to use it on the street, not track, so for the time being I'll probably be okay, but realistically the long term goals would be to put it on track and all, you know, maybe try and do some dragging with it as well. So yeah, it'll just mean these wires, we won't use them, we'll use them for a signal, but that'll be pretty much it, run thicker wiring. The only thing that I need to learn, if people know or anybody's got any ideas, is repinning this to put the bigger cables in. But other than that, I think I'm pretty much clear on what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it. Right, that's the bracket I've made. So the regulator will fit on there like so. Going to take that off, just put some X primer on it, get it sprayed black, because I think I've got some black still. Tighten it up, put that on, and then I can start running the feed line and return line. Before I jack the car up, I thought I'd fit the little plate that I've made to carry my regulator, which I will put here. If I can find the hole. So there you have it. That is the hybrid racing fuel pressure regulator all mounted up on my bracket. So I don't know whether it's too close to the turbo or not. I'm probably going to run a turbo blanket on there just to make sure we'll protect it from the heat. But that fitting there is for the return, and then underneath is where that goes back to the tank, so the fittings are already there. Now on this side, the sexy hybrid racing fuel rail will run a 180-degree fit in there, and then basically bring it all the way back to the regulator. And then what we'll try and do is fit the fuel rail, sorry, the fuel lines all the way down there somewhere and take them back to the back of the car to the pump. And knit that up, and there you have it. That's the return. so I thought I'd give you a bit of an update. So I've got the fuel return line, got it down past the actual fuel tank at the moment. So the aim fitting's connected, not secured, but good enough for now. Sorry, just trying to struggle past the car. Got a bit of a leak up there in the old garage, so gonna have to sort that as well. But underneath here, that's the fuel line there. I'm gonna just do exactly the same thing for the out, and then up here somewhere I've got the fuel filter as well, so it flows one way. What I'm planning to do is just underneath here quickly show you what so where the existing fuel lines are, I'm going to put the new fuel lines tie wrap to it, just to get me going. And then what I'll do is I'll remove the existing fuel lines and then just obviously keep the new ones and probably P-clip them to the chassis, and there you go. So I'll just carry on doing that now and I'll show you what it's like after. So a bit of an update for you. 2 weeks later, we've pulled the car outside. We're just fitting the fuel lines underneath. There's no room in the garage, so you can see there I've got the fuel filter on, fuel line running to the front, and we're just going to basically tie wrap these to the existing lines until we can remove them. Just going to send it, try and make a good job of it, I think. Yeah? Good job?
Yeah, sounds good.
Mint.
So we get it on ramp.
So I've got the fuel filter installed, the lines come under here and then basically go up there, up through the top near the gearbox, and then pull them through the top here. We'll probably tie wrap them to the turbo just to make sure that everything's safe. Joking aside, what we're going to do is one of the lines will go onto the fuel pressure regulator, and then the second line with the feed line then go to the fuel rail. So we'll get them on. This is how long. So overkill. All finished. So feed, return, goes to the fuel pressure regulator, and now what I'm going to do is run the silicone hose. Thank you very much from my assistant Gilly. So we're going to take it off here. I'm basically going to tee off with a Y. So that will go to the dump valve as it normally does, and then this line will then go to this fitting here. Once we've done that, all I need to do then is obviously put the key on, make sure she builds pressure, and then I'll adjust this so that this reads 50 psi. So we just turned her on. We've got all of 10 psi, if you can make that out. So we do a full turn on the regulator, and that gives us another 15 psi there. And then what I'll do is just shut off the ignition, turn it back on, and then that should give us, well, hopefully
more.
Yeah, hopefully more, 25. So we'll see where we go. So we got it to 55. You can't see it, but it's slowly dropping. There you go. So we've got a leak out the gauge because I didn't PTFE tape it. I didn't think I needed to, but judging by that, it's a mistake. And also the fitting on the side where the gauge goes, if I can zoom in for you, so there you can just see it's just bubbling away. So we're going to PTFE tape and then run it back up, and hopefully that's both leaks sorted.
So, yeah.
So there you go, all done and dusted. So we're just slightly adjusting it. Yeah, there you go, bang on 50 now. So just going to tighten that up now. So that's fully all sorted, all done. Well, that's it, it's done, finally finished. So next stage is let's get it mapped. In fact, no, I need to MOT it first, and then we're taking it and get it turned up thinking maybe 450, something like that. Just keep it, you know, kind of sensible. Not like it's a sensible car anyway, but yeah, looking forward to it. Absolutely buzzing. Kind of want to get it just finished off, get it, you know, use it this year. So I've got Santa Pod. I'm going to go to the ring. Well, that's if COVID doesn't stop us. But anyway, I'll keep waffling. So just want to say thank you for watching, guys. Hope this helps you out, and don't forget to leave a comment down below. Just tell me what you think. Would you use the parts? What kind of power would you go for? Like, share, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Peace.
Purple Lamborghini,